lounging, son.
All right, welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan, and with me again, another dope indie cartoonist, fellow member of the Kayfabe ringside seats. Today, we're going to be talking with Rick Lopez, who, you know, the image grand design stuff you did was dope as fuck. The book that I picked up from you, The Power, which we'll get into, very awesome. I don't know what I expected, but it was dope. So, welcome to the show, dude.
Thanks, dude. I'm glad to be on, man.
Yeah, so I do this to everybody, first time on the show. I always like to hear people's stories about how they got into comic books and then what in turn inspired them to become a cartoonist themselves.
I mean, when I was a kid, like, comics were pretty hard to come by, like the superhero stuff, I'm pretty sure we're about the same age. Like when all the big image boom was going on, I was real little, and by the time like I was able to read comics, everyone was like hoarding them because they're going to be worth so much money later on. Like I remember like my cousin having like Wolverine comics that I could like only like look at from far away but never could touch them, that sort of thing. Eventually, I mean, we had like a small shop in my town for a while when I was a kid, but they're kind of like jerks and everything. And like around the time Ultimate Spider-Man was coming around, like at the time I didn't know like to ask like, do you guys have the first trade of Ultimate Spider-Man? So we're just asking for number one, like, do you have Ultimate Spider-Man number one? And like the dude's like being a jerk, like, oh well, that's expensive and this and that. And so like we ended like for a long time Barnes and Noble was just kind of like my comic shop until more of them eventually opened up around here. Like a lot of it, like my first comics were like Disney comics, like Aladdin and Mickey and stuff like that.
I've been kind of blessed for the most part. No matter where I've lived, there have always been a tremendous amount of comic book stores. Because I live in LA, so yeah. They're everywhere. I've worked in a lot of different shops, mostly a couple when I was like 13. I got paid store credit, which was fine with me. My money would have gone there anyway. And then when I was 16, I worked at a shop, and now I'm working a shop again. And especially now, like that I'm older, like the whole point of a retailer is to nurture the readership, right? Like you want to have repeat customers. This is a niche thing, you know what I mean? Like it's not like comic books are huge money makers or shops are money makers. I guess if you're flipping key issues or whatever, but I don't know, it's very disheartening to hear that was your experience. I've been in those shops both recently within the past couple of years and as a kid. And when they were a fucking dick to me as a kid, like luckily I could just go somewhere else. I'm like, fuck them. I'm never going back in there again. Besides the point. I do want to know though, like when did you, as the comic books became more readily available to you, like when did you decide that you wanted to become a creator yourself?
Oh, dude. I mean, I've drawn like forever, like since I was a kid and everything, but I don't know. I think there was a point where I was just really down on my art and I just like focused on the writing more, and I thought like that would be my end, really. I was like, I'll write this shit. I'll thumbnail it if I have to for people, and like they'll draw it for me. Like my book right now, like someone else is supposed to draw that book, and like it just felt like the more I kept like working on the script, working on thumbnails and everything, and just nothing ever happened on their end. And I'm like, this will never happen if I don't just like start it somehow. And so I just started like on that first page. I've been drawing again like maybe like the last like 5 years or so, but really like the last like a little over two, it's been like all comics. Like let's make a fucking book.
Oh yeah, dude. I loved the book. Like I said, I didn't really know what to expect necessarily. Everybody was hyping it so much in the group, and I think more than one person's like, you got to get the book. I'm like, and then when we were on the comic symposium, Eli, I don't know, somebody held up the book. I was like, fuck. And I ordered it like while in the group. What I took from it, and I would love to hear like what your thoughts like in the terms of creation of it was, but like it's very poetic in terms of the way that you're writing the book. You know what I mean? It feels like a poem, just like the creativity. This is supposed to be you or some sort of cartoonist, some artist, right? Like, and just getting ideas out into the world. And I don't know, it's abstract, but it's very, very cool. I don't know how else to really form like what I'm thinking when I in terms of creating, because you said I didn't even know that somebody else is supposed to draw it. Like I think it's dope that you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it because I want to have this out in the world. But what is this book about to you, and what is kind of the feeling that you hope people take from it when they're reading it?
So The Power, it's a 4-issue miniseries, and it's about this boy who's creating his own comic, and he discovers a realm beyond space and time within his own mind. And it's kind of that ethereal plane you kind of go to when you're creating things, you know, how everything sort of melts away and you're somewhere else completely. You're just working on your own creation, you know, your own universe. Like these characters, they've already gone on thousands of adventures before you've even drawn them, you know, just in your own head.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, that's what I hope people get out of it. Some sort of like, even if they're not comic makers, just any sort of maker, you know, like that's kind of how I feel about it. And like with the strip that I'm doing on webtoons, it's a whole different thing, you know. And so this one's really like, I mean, I'm working on issue 2 right now, and it's a lot more of the same, I guess, like kind of like poems or soliloquies or whatever, just these things that come to my head. I don't know. Matthew Allison, when we had talked to him, was talking about like making these images first and then like putting the words down, you know, and like stitching it all together. And that's a lot of the way I built this thing together, you know, like really like coming up with these like images that I felt spoke to me at least, and hopefully spoke to someone else, and that I tried to stitch them together the best I could. I mean, I don't know, it's a really personal, you know, like sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I hope people like really take a lot from it because I put so much into it, you know?
I mean, like I said, I loved it from the hand lettering to the coloring to the art to the writing. I think you knocked it out of the park. It's very like I think even the thought that came into my head when I closed the issue last night when I read it was it's like I get why everyone is so high on this book. Like it's easy to see. Like you're talented as fuck. And I just really love the issue and I cannot wait until the second issue drops and it inspired me to like want to create. I know there's projects going on within the group and that's what's going to lead me to talk about the next book when we get to it. I put my name on the list to write something, you know, and I've never written a fucking comic book. I've read a shit ton of comics, but I've never actually created one myself. And I think the entire group and this is just like kind of getting me amped up and wanting to like get something out into the world that I've created. And I can't draw for shit, so I'm not even going to attempt to fucking put pencil to fucking paper and draw anything. But I will write something for somebody, and it's a beautiful book. I mean, there's nothing really else I can say. You did a really good job, man.
Well, I seriously appreciate that, dude. And
Yeah.
for you and for anyone else who's read it, like if you like the first issue, you're gonna like the second one way more because I know I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm almost done inking it, so I'm just about ready to color it.
Nice.
And I want to have it out by June, but we'll see. Maybe late
Cool,
June,
man.
early July. Yeah.
I mean, I'm stoked. I cannot wait. Was this your first published?
Yeah, this is my first comic.
Fuck, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's a hell of a first comic, man.
I really appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's dope. I love the Perez homage. I love the Miller homage. Is that the cover to issue 2 that you got going?
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Yeah.
to do other ones?
Yeah, the third one. I could actually show you the third one.
Oh, I'd love
the
to see it.
I've been doing a lot of different ones for each issue.
Mhm.
But since I do them as the back inside cover, I do them early. So like this is Green Lantern 49, Daryl
Fuck yeah,
Banks,
dude.
when Hal Jordan's holding on to the rings. So that one's pretty good. That one's fun. And then this is a page from issue 2 that I'm working on. Well, I finished it, but I wanted to show you. So we're getting there.
Very dope. Could you real quick tell people where they can find it?
Yeah, of course. So I'm on Instagram. I'm at Doom Days. Like that's like the easiest way to find me. Me, Craig CK, David Grom, and now Eli Schwab. We all work on Next Panel Press together. You can find that on Facebook, or you can find that on Webtoons as well. I sell my book through Big Cartel, like Big Cartel / Doom Days. But I mean, there's been people who didn't want to go that way, and like they either like Venmo me or PayPal me money. So I mean, I can figure out another way if you don't want to just go through Big Cartel.
So. I was actually it's funny. I was gonna ask you, could I just fucking Venmo you the money so I don't have to deal with all this shit? But
yeah,
like we were in the middle of the group. I'm like, if I don't do this now, I don't want to like sleep on this. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna drop those links down below. I just wanted to kind of do it in the middle of the interview also, so that people off top they can order it while they're listening to this.
Oh, so dude, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and let's talk image grand design. This fucking book, you know, Ed and Jim call it the greatest fan comic ever made. I think that that even is not giving it the praise it justly deserves. I think that what you guys did, what you created, is, I mean, I'm getting calls at our shop.
Yeah, I bet, dude.
So it's fucking nuts, and all around the world, it's just a beautiful project all around. I especially loved the pages that you did, where you kind of, you know, like you had Ed and Jim in the background. I want to ask, I want to get everybody's perspective. Everyone's kind of giving me a little bit different of like what it meant to them. So I kind of wanted to hear from you, like, how did you become involved with the project, and give us a little glimpse into the stuff, like why you chose to draw what you chose to draw.
So first of all, like when it kind of starts with Wizard for me. I mean, like I've been watching like the cartoonist Kayfabe since like the very first episode that Tom was on, when he was like helping, when like Jim couldn't be there for some reason, Tom came on. I think they're
Yeah.
talking about like the Mignola Liefeld X-Force issue where
Right.
they're like comparing that, like that was like the first episode I saw. And
Nice.
so like there's a point though where like I take a break from Facebook and that group comes about, you know, and then like when I eventually come back, I see Wizard is like, it was like pretty much at the end, like they're getting ready to print it out and everything. So
Yeah.
I was like, that was one thing where I was like, fuck, I wish I could have been a part of this. I really would have wanted to do something for Wizard. Like, but at the time I totally wasn't ready yet. I was like still trying to work on my first issue and everything. But so in that, that's where Michael Kemp put his ad, like the fake ad and everything. Obviously that was cool as shit because I totally saw that episode. But like once pandemic started, Jerome Cabanatan, he did that first page with Rick Grimes and with Savage Dragon and Jesse from Street Angel and the Ninja Turtles. And it was like, this is the chance. Like we got to figure out something. And like I came up with like 2 pages, like really rough sketched 2 pages, and sent them to Jerome and messaged him like, dude, I want to be a part of this and everything. But I have no idea that Jerome at on the other end is like, oh fuck, like all these people are hitting me up, like I have no idea what we're gonna do. So he's trying to hit up Eli and everything, and I'm just like hoping I could be a part of this. And I think they had like one Zoom with like maybe like 5 people that I had like caught the very end of, but like the next day it just totally steamrolled from there, where it's like Gregory C. Giordano, he took the transcripts of that video and he got
Mhm.
them all broken down, and then Rocco, like a madman, he went and like put it all in a spreadsheet and everything, like these are the points we have to hit. And then like from there it's like we kept like talking about it, like, well, how do these guys all have to fight? Because we just went off of all the shit that Ed said, you know, those are things that that has to be done. Like how do
Mhm.
these people die and everything? Oh well, they should die in order that the original creator left the book, and that sort of things, you know, like different ideas just started coming about. And like I think David Grom, he did this page of like Shadowhawk and Spawn like fighting, but it was like them already like established as those characters, but like Chapel shooting Spawn. And instead of like Rocco was like, instead of us just like not using this page, like we need to create like another thing to where like an anthology half where we can put any of those ideas come from, you know. And like that eventually spawned Disaster and everything. And like Greg took charge over that so he could like, you know, get that sort of ball rolling too. I don't know, man. It's just like I know Craig said it too, and like Eli, but it's like that fucking project, like it saved my life. It fucking saved my own book. It taught me so much shit. Like I would have made so many fucking mistakes on my book that like I learned just from these people, you know, like Jerome called it the digital bullpen. Like that's straight up what it was. Like I learned so much shit just zooming every night and like different people, different perspectives, like Sam J. Royale, like that's like the MacGyver of fucking comics. Like it
I
doesn't
know.
matter where that dude is at, man. He will make a fucking comic happen, and you won't know what he used to do it. It's like holy shit, dude. It's just crazy, like the amount of people that we met and how close we all got and everything, and like even more stuff to come. So it's been great all around, and it's crazy to like. I mean, yeah, like last year fucking sucked, but there is definitely points where I look back and I really cherish them, and they really mean a lot, and they really fucking helped me so much.
And that's, you know, and I've said it too to multiple people that every page you flip, you can feel the energy and excitement like emanating from each page, you know. And I think what you guys came together to do is nothing short of amazing, and it's just a special project, you know. Like I'm flipping through it now, you know, like I flipped through your pages too, because you kind of Craig CK leads in the beginning of the book, but you have the image grand design like title page, and I mean, you know, you go in and like you just see the shadows of Ed and Jim, and like, and then like from there on, the excitement just continues to elevate. And I love this. I love the group, and I love the stuff that I see coming out from you guys, because it's like, and that's why I started wanting to interview everybody. Like, I want to kind of shed some light on creators that aren't getting the shine because they're not being published by like Marvel or DC, you know, like, because this stuff is just as exciting to me, if not sometimes more exciting. I mean, Eli and I were talking about this. This book easily could have been published by Image.
Right.
Like the talent in here, I mean, is better
totally, dude.
Talent I see at Image Comics. So like, I know it's not. I don't know that it like that they would ever reach out and be like, hey, let's actually put this under the Image banner. But I think they should, because this book should be seen in print more than just the initial print run that everybody that, you know, was lucky enough to get a copy of. I know people can obviously print it themselves, but I just see as many people get this as possible. And it's clear, like, you know, all the money's going to charity, which I think is awesome. And I know Disaster, as of the day we're recording, it's going to drop in a few days. You know, you talk about it saving your life, like that's inspiring. You know what I mean? Like to hear that, and like to like the blood's literally like blood, sweat, and tears that went into. It's crazy. It's really crazy what you guys did, and it's crazy to like see this. Like, I mean, how has it been for you? Have you gotten like people like coming and checking out your book more because of them discovering you on this?
Oh, dude, that first day when they shared that video was fucking nuts. Like, I had people hitting me up all day long. Like, it was crazy, dude. Like, because I woke up to a bunch of notifications. I'm like, what the hell happened? And like, we have a group chat for like image grand design and everything. And I go to look at that and everyone's just going off. I'm like, oh shit. And it was, yeah, dude, it was like kind of like Christmas in a way, like just like a lot of kudos and a lot of like, I don't know, everyone was really happy to see it and everything. And it was nice because like, fuck, dude, I know we all worked so hard and everything. Like, that was a lot of time we put into those pages, and like for nothing other than just wanting to bring it to life, you know? I was so happy to be a part of it. Like, it's crazy, dude. It's totally lightning in a bottle. Like, man, I just like 1 year later, I remember me and David Grom were talking about it. I'm pretty sure Jerome too. And it's like, while they're watching, or while they're like in like going over it in the video, like they get to the panel where they're both right there, but like they were literally on the right, like on the correct sides. Like I got them. I was like, oh, this is, because I love that meta shit, you know. And that was like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted right here.
Oh, it was so dope. Great. I mean, I love your sequence of pages. I think that it's like the perfect way to like start the Disaster right after Eli gives that dope editorial in the beginning. What was it like when you got that book in your hand and finally saw it in print after like months of you guys working on this project?
It's fucking unreal, dude. Like, it's like, dude, like, man, I mean, like, it was a whole year later, and because it's like the whole time we're working on it, like, man, I really hope nothing happens. Like, I really hope like we're not stopped at some point and we're told like, no, we don't care what you did. Like, you can't print this thing, you can't have it. And so it was just like, after everything, like, I mean, I didn't buy any extras. I just got the one that Craig gave to me, you know, and like, that's all I wanted. I just wanted my copy with all my friends and everything, and like, it just, I don't know, it symbolizes so much more than even Ed's initial concept, you know. Like, it's crazy like how much those guys have done, even just like tangentially, like not even intentionally, you know, just creating their channel, just in turn created the group. And it just, Eli got involved, and that dude's just a fucking angel, and he just did even more stuff for it. And it's totally avalanched into this beautiful thing, and I love it. And like, man, those dudes in that group just changed me forever. Like, at this point, like I could never imagine like someone drawing my stuff now. I would just draw it myself, and if I can't draw it, like I'd learn to draw it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you got the talent, man. Don't ever sell yourself short. I think that both projects, both the Power, both your stuff in Image Grand Design, like phenomenal. And I'm super excited to see what else you cook up after the power. What other stuff do you have in the works that you can kind of talk about? Maybe I know there's some stuff that the members in the group know about. Some of the stuff has been mentioned. Anything you can share or anything?
So I did watch Craig and Eli's interviews. So like I did see what they did and didn't say. So, well, Craig said something. Oh, when Craig was talking about next panel press, he's like, "That's like the only thing I'm not involved with Eli on." I thought that was so fucking funny because it's like, well,
Yeah,
now he is. Like, of
yeah,
course. That's the big one. I mean, we do the next panel press, so it's like the bi-weekly anthology strip. We each put out our own strip. I do Cosmic Cat. I do Craig has bot wow. Craig has Kirby and Bot.
mhm,
Grom has Rex and Tex, and then Eli brought on his Citizens of Alonia, and that shit's awesome too.
yeah.
And we're just having a lot of fun with that. And like I was saying, like where the power is a lot of like soliloquies and that sort of thing. Like Cosmic Cat is kind of like Fritz in space, and he's got like a Wolverine healing factor. So he's just like this crazy space cat that gets into just like dumb adventures, and I have fun with that, and he cusses and shit. So like that's always fun. So we're also from there. I mean, I did a page in the Weapon X project, the
Nice.
study of Barry Windsor Smith. So
Hmm.
like that's really fun. I did the last page of the first issue, if you know that one at all, but it's like he's looking out this window and there's a neon sign of the hotel he's in. That was like the hardest shit to draw ever. So like that
Yeah,
was cool. And then there is that project that I guess we're not supposed to say what it is necessarily yet because we
that's
still are
fine.
hammering details out. But it's like
Mhm.
pretty much all the people that were involved in image grand design are involved. Like they're like grandfathered in, and then if we want to bring in more people, I guess we will. But that like we've only had one meeting about that so far, and I think we have one. I think we have one tomorrow actually. Like the second one. It's like I think that one will be the big one because we've like started the ball rolling a little bit. We got some cool ideas, but that one will be a lot of fun, and it'll like definitely give a lot of shine for everyone. So that's
I,
what I want. It's gonna be
how
so
you
cool, dude.
guys, you know what? The reason I'm even more excited about that one is that you guys can actually make some money off of this shit.
Yeah,
To worry about it being shut down. I get like doing stuff, for the passion of stuff and for the love of comic books, but you guys should also be able to, make a little something off of your hard work, and get that recognition and get your name out there as much as possible. I know that we're going to carry whatever projects moving forward at the shop I work at. I mean, I don't know if you saw the picture, the Cosmic Lion Productions section that I made right next to the Kayfabe at the art. So, anything that's published through that is going to be at our shop for sure. And yeah, I'm very excited for everything you guys got in the works. And in any way, shape, or form, whether it's helping promote it or creating with you guys, like I want to do it all. Like I would rather be a part of those projects than anything like that's Marvel DC because like this is just it seems like more fun. Like you guys are having fun and it's evident, like by what you're producing. But yeah, I'll delete the part out where I said what the name was. So
oh no worries, dude.
yeah,
It's all
I don't
good.
want to. I don't want to get anybody upset that I talked about it or that he like fucking
Yeah,
just like said it in passing. He was like about to leave the shop. He's like, "Oh, by the way, the thing we're doing," and then he like walked out. I was like, "Oh, all right,
that's funny.
yeah." What other stuff do you have ideas for more stuff? I know you got the power that you're going to be working on at least for the next few months. What kind of a schedule are you trying to keep with that? And then do you have ideas for another series possibly when that wraps?
So ideally, I mean, I'd love to be done with all four issues by the end of the year and
Mhm.
then be on to the next thing. I mean, that's like a hoping. I don't know if that'll happen or not. I mean, it feels pretty feasible.
Mhm.
And then while I work on Cosmic Cat for next panel press, I've been trying to make each update a full page. So like at some point that'll like just happen to be a book. So I'll be
Cool.
able to put that out too. I mean, after that, I have a bunch of like these short stories that I would like write or that I would like plot out and that sort of thing. And like between like, so like a few years ago, I won this auction for like the first like 3 years of heavy metal, like from the first issue on. And
Fuck.
like going through that, like totally blew my mind. And then like on top of like, I got an 8 ball, like all the 8 ball issues and like reading that through. It's like I really want to do an anthology series with like a lot of those short stories and that sort of thing, you know. So at least
Yeah.
like that's the plan, is to go to that after I'm done with the power, and then still keep working on Cosmic Cat, because I don't have an ending for that. Just kind of like play it week by week, you know, like what happens this week, we'll figure it out.
Oh, I like that. So you just wing it every week. That's awesome.
Yeah, like Craig's I know he said that too. He's so fucking far ahead, and like he'll send us stuff, and I'm like, when does this even happen? Like I'm missing like a lot of information here, but it's like he's so good. He's a machine. But yeah, like mine, I definitely need to get to that level. So because I heard him talking about, yeah, we need to get to a week. I'm like, yeah, we do. I need to hurry the fuck up and get my shit together.
Well, I'm very excited for like I said, like everything you got coming in the works, everything that you guys as a group are coming with, everything that you are going to do moving forward. But before we kind of like wrap up, I do want to ask, like, what stuff are you currently into? Like you kind of said, like some of the stuff like that's inspiring to you, like a heavy metal, 8 Ball. But what stuff are you currently reading that maybe you want to share with other people, or if there's any creators, even fellow like of indie cartoonists that you wanted to give shout out to, or stuff we should all be checking out?
I mean, like I was saying, like with Klaus, like when I went through his stuff, like I started at Lloyd Llewellyn and I went through it chronologically until I got to Patience. And that like kind of just blew my mind, like watching him evolve and watching like the Patience is the best thing he's ever created. And like that's what I want to do. You know, I want the next thing that I make to be better than the whatever I'm working on now. And like I mean, definitely the channels show me so much stuff, like with like Hate, like with Pete Bag. That was one of the last things I was reading. I've been really bad about reading lately, and like my fucking pull list and my stack is just getting bigger and bigger in my room. But like I'm not like a snob or anything. Like I pick up like all the Donny Cates books, like all the Marvel stuff. I picked up Crossover. I mean, I got the new Beta Ray Bill book.
Oh, so dope.
And Warren Johnson's fucking insane.
So you're talking about Black Hammer.
Yeah. Oh man, since I've been reading that one, so it's like anytime they put out, like I don't even care who's writing it. Like my shop, I'm just like, if it says Black Hammer, I just put it in my poll. Like I'm pretty invested in that world, so I'll pick
Oh,
up those, or like
it's really good.
like Lemire, I like Cates, I like Grant Morrison. That's my favorite writer of all time. So I was pretty bummed when Green Lantern ended.
Are you going to check
So I
out
was like,
Superman and Authority that he's writing?
oh yeah, that's another one. Like I don't care what, like if it says his name, just put it on my poll.
I mean, I'm the same way. Grant
No worries.
Morrison is an automatic pull. Ed Brubaker, automatic pull. Daniel Warren Johnson has now become that. Like I absolutely fucking love his style. Like that second issue, I think in the second issue it was like the double page spread of the ship.
Yeah.
Crazy. That dude is on another level. Like that's what I wish Marvel and DC would do more of. Are these projects like just let the fucking creators do what they do, man. Just like let them run with it, because that's how you get special stuff, you know? Like I think I don't know if you've read it or you're planning to, but the Future State Gotham book. People were talking about it in the group the past.
Oh, I actually saw that today, but I just saw the cover. It's got like Red Hood on it, right?
Yeah, dude, it's literally Akira mashed with Gotham. Like it literally is heavily influenced by Otomo, and they even have his Batman Black and White story in the back, and then a Mobius pinup. It's like I'm like, what is this? DC's putting this out? Like this is crazy. A black and white book, like it is phenomenal. It was by far my favorite thing that came out last week. So
I'm gonna message my shop about that one. I gotta get that.
Definitely think you should check it out. I mean, I don't know how long the book will last.
They had it on the shop on the wall today. Like I saw it and I was like they're still putting out Future State books, but I didn't look at it. If I'd have thumbed through it, maybe I would have seen something. But that sounds cool. I gotta check that out for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely something I highly recommend. How about any cartoonists? You want to give any shout outs to anyone that any of their stuff that you really read that you're really checking out, that you're really digging, and don't feel bad if you forget anybody.
Oh, dude, I'm the worst at this shit.
I mean, I am the same way. Like every time I get off of an interview where like somebody asks me of like stuff I'm reading, I'm like, oh, I think I can't think of it at the time, and then I end it, and I'm like, fuck this. I forgot all.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know if you know who Andrew Buck is or not. I know him on Instagram and Facebook.
No, I don't know.
He does a bunch of crazy work. I don't even know how to pronounce his name on Instagram, but I don't know. He's the Death Kit now. but he does a bunch of crazy stuff. He's done some David Lynch and Archie like mashup like mini comics that are pretty sweet. Whenever he puts out stuff, I'm usually like, all right, I need to grab that and that. Jeff Manley too, like I fucking love that dude, and his art like just totally does it for me like that. His clean lines, Jason Lapidus, dude, his washes, like
I
I'm just
know.
like sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna go break some fucking pencils. Like, fuck you, dude. I hate you. You're so good. And he's just too nice about it and everything. I mean, there's a million fucking people. David Browers, I mean, he could draw covers for anyone. Like that shit just sells itself right there, dude. Oh my
Oh yeah.
god. Like Craig CK, obviously. I mean, I'm wearing his design as even though I fucked it up, but I mean, like that shit's iconic right there. He's got like a knack for design and crazy art, tattoo artist. Jerome Cabanatan, like the hardest working man out there. Fuck, dude, David Grom. That was another thing with Next Panel Press. David Grom ended up like hurting his hand at work. I like fractured it.
Hmm.
And so it was like right before one of our updates. So we're like, shit, maybe we need to, because we had talked about doing guests. We're like, maybe we need to bring on a guest. And then we're like, well, let's talk to Eli. And we talked to him a little bit about it. And then it was just like, let's just bring him on.
Yeah.
Like, and I know he's been wanting to like, because like he's been wanting to put out Monkey Lion 4 for I don't even know how long at this point. But
Yeah.
like if he puts out anything, like, that's great. And he's got like this whole little thing he's going on with it, like these like textures that he's found, and like he's able to like rub graphite over it, and it's got this like different sort of screen tone over it that is like really doing something for me that I like it, and it really makes this shit look cool, dude.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. There's just we've made so many friends on this damn group, so sorry guys if I didn't shout you all out. I mean, love a lot of your art. Michael
Yeah. I
Kemp,
mean,
Misi, I don't talk to them so much, but I mean I love their art a lot. Tony McMillan, his art's pretty insane. There's a lot of guys.
yeah. I mean, I think that the creativity in the group is amazing, and I think that, like you said, I don't even think Ed and Jim could have foreseen this group and this like kind of like brotherhood or kind of like a family type atmosphere coming together because of their love of cartoonist kayfabe and then what it's grown into. It's just amazing to like to see. It's amazing to be a part of. Yeah, I think everybody in the group is so fucking talented, and I hope that these videos, these interviews I'm doing, and I need to find time to like I want to do my overhead views or videos where I'm going through your guys' books and everyone's stuff, because like it's some of the best comic books that I'm reading currently. And like I said before, thank you for talking comics with me, dude. It's been a pleasure, and I cannot wait to see what you got next. And for everybody listening and watching, where can they find all of your stuff? How can they pick up your book, The Power? And also maybe share where they can get that PDF of Image Grand Design.
Okay, so I mean, you can find me on Instagram at Doomdazed. That's pretty much where I post most of my shit. On Facebook and on Webtoons, we're at Next Panel Press. That's with me, Craig CK, David Grom, and Eli Schwab. So it's like from there, we're always tagged in those, so you can find us through there too. I sell my book through Big Cartel / Doomdazed. But again, like I have PayPal, I have Venmo, I have whatever else you need if you want to just buy my book that way. We do, which is one is then after I get out of here, then we're gonna do the next symposium. But me, Eli Schwab, Craig CK, and Ray Caracas, we do those comic symposiums every other second Saturday of the month, and we bring on guests where people don't know who's going to come on, and we have like kind of an audience with us as well, and they get to ask the guests a bunch of questions. Okay, so well, since you won't be there, and since I'm sure this will come out after that, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna talk to Chris Anderson, who works on Heavy Metal. Like that
Nice.
dude fucking blows my mind. He's so prolific.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk to Rohagashi, and she has fucking huge ass following on Webtoons, and hopefully we can learn a little bit from her too, because she's been to manga school and shit, and she fucking kills it. She did pages with Ben Granoff and Image Grand Design, and she's so talented. Like I did this one art prompt, just like as a side note, I did this art prompt, and it was like trying to draw other people's characters. I was trying to draw her characters, and I was like, this is just gonna be rude, like if I do it, because she just has this style that I was like, I can't get it, and I don't want it to look like a fucked up version of her stuff. But yeah, I'm excited about that, and that will be super fun to watch back for sure. Because those two, like, there's a lot to learn from both of them. You know what I mean? And I definitely want to know what I can. So those are big ones.
I think that just it's some of the best comic book conversations that you'll have. Like even just being there for like I think I was there for like an hour. It's just fun to listen to, other people's questions. It's here to see their perspective on comic books, and so everybody listening, watching, make sure you go pick up The Power, Doom Days. I'm going to drop all the links down below. Rick, thank you so much for taking time to chat with me, dude. And
thank you, Ryan.
I want to do this with you again, definitely sometime in the future. If you want to help, once the other book drops and you want to do another one, kind of get people's eyes on it, I would love to talk to you.
Oh yeah, dude. I'd love to. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Yeah, dude, my pleasure.